Hey guys, how's it going? It's Kyra here with another Exos Heroes video. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down specifically what your day-to-day activities are going to be for this game. And it's going to change every single day depending on what day it is and what to expect. So I think when I first started playing this game, I was wondering what all these kind of games have like a system of what you do. And I wanted to get to that point in the game and then try to figure out what it is. And then so now I could go over it. Now I understand it completely. Now I could break it down for you guys. So let's get into it. I think it's actually pretty interesting. And so the first thing is going to be very important to try to finish the story as soon as possible. You have this story here. You're going to go through it, and then it ends after chapter 11. And then after that's done, that's going to unlock. Like you're going to notice as you are completing the story, these challenges are going to start to open up for you, and slowly you're going to get more and more of these challenges. And as you get more of these challenges, these are going to be the daily things you do every single day. This is how you get stuff. So for example, experience, like you're going to get XP books. You can level up your characters. The Spirit Sanctum is going to be where you get stuff to enhance your characters. I'm going to give an example of that right here because it's kind of a hard concept to understand. So this is another way to improve your characters. So for example, when it loads, so see how you have all your characters here. So first, what I was saying was the Experience Sanctum. That's going to be how you can level these characters up. Because a lot of these games, you usually like take them through battles and then level them up that way. In this game, you really don't get that much unless you're in campaign. In campaign, you do get a lot of experience. But after campaign, you're going to find that the best way to level up characters is through the experience challenges, get the books, and then level them. And then kind of a cool thing about each one is that there's books based on types. You get more experience if you apply them to the right type of character. I'll get more into that in here in a second because the types are really important. But I just want to go over a rough draft of what everything is. So the next one is going to be the blessing one, where you're going to get these things to enhance your characters. So for example, let's take this character since he's not there. So see how you can enhance him. When you enhance someone, you get these. This is what I got today. You get them in different start amounts. So for example, see how this one was a 5-star. For a 5-star character, that's going to enhance it 100% of the time. It costs that. And then when you enhance it, you can enhance them 5 times. And then after they're enhanced, then you could bless the character to level. And then when you bless them, that's what raises them up from 75. And then they have the ability to go to 90. That same concept applies for a character that is a rare. They can only go to like 45. Then you enhance them 5 times and then you bless them. And then now they can go to 75. So then, or they can go to 60, and then from 60 you have to enhance them and then bless them again. Now they can go to 75, and then after that, then they can go to 90. That's kind of like the process on how you would level these characters. So you can see a couple of my characters. So for example, this rare here. So see how she's a legendary. So notice how normally you'd be stuck at 60 with her. But since I enhanced her and then blessed her, she can now go to 75. And then because she's transcended, which is another thing I can get into later, which you take another copy of her, put it in, then she becomes transcended. And then that's when you could go up. Every time you transcend someone, they could go up an additional 2 levels. So with her, since she's been transcended 5 times, she could go up 10 extra levels. So in her case, her max level right now is 85. If I were to enhance and bless her all the way, then her max level would be 100. But she would stay her normal level, and you have to slowly go up. And you'll notice that the amount of experience totems it takes to go from like 80 to 90 is very exponential, and it goes from like not that many books to go from even to 70, go to 70, and then from 70 to 75 is a lot of books, and then from 75 to 90 is a massive amount of books. It takes an absolute ton. Okay. So now we got an idea there of what that challenge is. Then we're going to go to the next one. And this is going to be longer. I want to explain all these things. I think it's very important to understand all this because this is what you'd be doing every single day. And then hero battle, I haven't really focused too much on. This right here is you battle through this, and then you get shards of a certain character. So for example, you could get Nika or you could get Navid here. I haven't really checked that out too much. Those characters are okay. I think Nika's worth going for. I believe she's required for some of these challenges. And so then Ancient Gold Mine, that's how you get gold. Solar trade route. So the solar and lunar trade routes, these are a little different. For example, this one here is going to get you materials on to polishing gear is what it's called to actually level up a piece of gear in this game. And also you could drop you stuff. So it could drop you actual gear. So it could drop you the stuff to actually improve the gear, and then also drop you gear as well. So as you can see the reward list here, you can see all the expected rewards here. You see all the expected rewards here. Okay. So then now at solar trade route, and then the lunar trade route is going to give you a little bit different gear. Let's show that. Here is going to give you these materials. So these materials here are materials to take your gear up to higher levels. So like take it from level 4. So they start at level 30. So a blue piece of gear is going to go up to level 20 max. And then you could take it up a level, kind of like blessing character. And then these legendary pieces of gear, those are going to be the ones where you could level up, from 30 to 40 and then 40 to 50. And then you'll see that these require these type of pieces to take them up to these higher amounts. And then it's going to give more attack and stuff like that. So that's how that works. This one. And then if you look at the value of these, the lunar trade route is more value. If you were to buy extra chances, the lunar trade route is more valuable than the solar trade route. And then, the experience and the solar trade route are kind of on the same level, stuff like that. Same with the gold mine. And then the blessing sanctum is on the same level in value as the lunar trade route. Whereas this one, what it does is it gives you the materials to take a character and bless them up to a certain level. So for example, like taking them from 60 after you've enhanced them, now you could bless them from like 45, and then now they could go up to 60, or from 60 to 75, or from 75 to 90. And the big one is 75 to 90. That one, it gets you. It takes a lot of resources to do, but the big bottleneck is going to be these holy water of the universes here. These things are incredibly rare, so don't worry about it too much. If you can't take up characters to 90, it takes a lot of resources, and it's going to take a ton to actually get the benefits of doing that. So don't worry about it too much. It's going to take a long time to do that. Just do as far as you can in this. Eventually they will come. I've been playing for almost 2 weeks now. I want to say like 10 days ish. And these only have ever dropped for me twice. So they are incredibly rare. I believe they drop in pairs. If they do drop, they drop in pairs because you need 2 per character. But I just wanted to keep, set your expectations for something like that, because they are incredibly rare. And if you were to buy them like with real money, they are incredibly expensive. So that's why, is because they're some of the rarest things in the game. And then lastly, you got this right here. Not even going to try to pronounce that, but it looks like it's German word. I don't even know. I'm not even going to pretend I know. It's just PvP. That's arena. It's very cool. Arena, how it works is it's kind of interesting. Every day you get a choice. So you get five passes a day, and then they regenerate throughout the day. I don't know the time. I want to say every 30 minutes, maybe every hour, you get one more pass to use. Okay. And so what happens is then in the beginning of the day, you'll notice it's not showing here, but what happens is you'll for 5 passes, you get to choose your opponent, and then probably choose someone weaker than you, significantly weaker. You beat them, and you get the rewards of beating. You get the points amount of beating someone 5 times, which is great. And then throughout the day, you let it regenerate and keep battling. The reason why I have 20 out of 5 is because I bought like a weekly pass for 30, and then I only played 10 times. If that confuses anyone, that's why I have 20 out of 5. Normally, you're gonna have 5 out of 5. Okay. So then. And then also every other week they do tag team. If you get to a high enough level, most people, especially if you're just starting out, probably not going to be an issue for you. But after you reach a certain level, then it's tag team, where you're going to have your team, and then you're going to have 2 other teams, and then you get to play a best 2 out of 3. So you take your team, you take your 3 teams against their teams, and then you get to choose which team faces which of their teams you face, and all you got to do is win 2 out of 3. So it's very cool, but it only happens every other week. So for example, now we're in a week where they don't do tag team. It's just going to be straight up your team versus their team for the rest of the week, and it resets at noon Alaska time. So feel free to look that up. I know for me, the reset is Sunday noon at 12 o'clock Alaska time is when it resets. And that's when you get your rewards every Sunday for arena. And you actually get really good rewards. So it's really important to really try to go as far as you can in arena, because I don't know if you've ever played like Star Wars Galaxy Heroes or Marvel Strike Force. It seems like they're doing rewards on that level where it's real paid currency that like their premium currency that you get for that, but they do it in a weekly payout versus like a daily payout in those games. So whereas I also in Raid, for example, you don't really get that good of gear or that good of stuff. You get like gear and stuff like that for placing in like higher versions of Arena, whereas in this game you get like really good stuff. It'd be like the stuff. It would be like winning ancient shards or winning void shards if you play Raid Shadow Legends. So like actual very good stuff with Arena. So definitely don't ignore that. And then here Labyrinth this is actually really cool. So how the Labyrinth works is it's a monthly set of challenges, and then you get Zest, which is the premium currency like Arena. And then what you do is they're very specific challenges as you progress all the way through. And then like it's going to be all type based, stuff like that. So very, very cool. I'll go over that more in detail. And I believe it deserves its own separate video. Each stage could even warrant its own video. So I'll go more into depth later on that, but that's a really fun thing to do. Also, one thing about it though, you definitely want to take advantage of that I think is great at this game. Every stage you have, that you could write down exactly what to do. So this is actually really helpful. And then there's an upvote system, so no trolls. So like for so you get some funny stuff like that. But for example, like that they break down strategies on how to beat each stage. And then it's very, very useful for being able to, help you out. It has it built into the game. Usually you got to find a forum, you got to go on Discord, whatever. This game, they just have it built in. And then as you can see here, very good rewards. The Zest stuff, this is the stuff everyone wants. This is the stuff that allows you to pull characters. So Zest rewards are fantastic. And then see how it ramps up. So you get a ton for a month, 140 plus 150 plus 160. So it does take a lot of characters. It does take very specific characters, but the further you could get, the better. And then this happens every month, so it's going to refresh every single month. See how down here it says remaining time 21 days and 9 hours. So that's how much time is left on this Labyrinth, and then we'll be able to reset it for something else. And then also another really important thing is let me see if I'm blocking it. I'm kind of blocking it, but see the subjugation here. Every day you want to check this because you get a daily allotted amount of your green shards here that you could pull from this, and you get more based on how far you get into the Labyrinth. So be sure to take advantage of that every single day. It's kind of hidden, daily thing you get. So definitely take that. And then after that, we got the Holy Dragon Grounds. This is a raid. This is a full auto only raid, 10 players max, and then you go and take on a boss. And so then you take on the dragon, and then every single day you get 3 attempts. You can't buy any more. I think there is hot deals of one time you could buy it, but you get rewards for materials to increase your gear, and then also materials to roll in in your ship, the thing of creation. You could roll and then get a chance to get faded or legendary or rare gear, or you could save them, and then once a month you could get a guaranteed faded piece of gear. So I don't know the math yet on what's more worth it. For the weapons, since you get a lot of amount, I recommend always waiting for the monthly roll and for the weapon, and then afterwards just roll the amount, and then for the rest of the month, and then hopefully you get lucky and get more faded pieces of gear that way. That's what I recommend. There's other parts I'll get into later that I would recommend rolling all the time based on my results so far. So, and then let's just keep going here. Then Shelter of Avarice is another full auto thing where you face Onymos. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And then he does like an AoE move, and then you beat him, and you get these tokens that you could either trade for gold, or you can save them. And then this is actually this worth showing. So you could save them. You get 20 of them. What you could do is then you can re-roll your faded gear. So if you ever get faded gear, they always have a guardian stone on them. See how they have a guardian stone? That's the currency. The currency you get from Onymos you could, or the Shelter of Avarice, you could take and then apply it here, and then you could use that plus gold and then get a random roll on your faded gear here. So it's very important to save that gear, even though it looks easy. Just here, you just use it at the door of creation and then get some gold. But it's important to also save it, because I think this is going to be very important. Let me see if I can find it. So see how you could craft this. 20 gets you, let me see if I'm blocking it. No, I'm not. So 20 gets you a thing that you could sell for gold, but I don't think that's worth it every time. You want to save it to make sure you get the right rolls. Let me see if I could find yeah, here it is. Okay, so see how this is, you get the 20, and then you take a piece of gear here, and then you would be able to change its thing. It's random, so keep that in mind. But the Guardian Stone you get for a piece of faded gear determines what its a set bonus is. So keep that in mind too. That's why people roll them, is because notice how if it's purple, for example, this deserves its own video, so I'm just going to try to be brief. But like you'll see, heal from damage. It's purple. Purple heal, or darkness, I should say, heal from damage. If it's green, nature set bonus. If it's red, it's going to be total damage reduction. Stuff like that. If it's blue, I believe it's like a block chance. So like blue, for example, Frost said block chance, stuff like that. And then if it's machine, then that's like a status immunity. So that's going to be really important when you get more and more faded gear. That's going to be down the line for most people, but that is what you're going to do with that currency. So it's good that when you're getting it now, you know exactly what it does, so you don't waste it. And then when you realize it, you're like, oh man, I could have had so much more of it. I could have got the right set bonus right when I wanted it. Okay, and then lastly is the side story thing. This takes very specific characters, and you can redo certain stories, and then I believe you get, and then you get this solar seal stuff. This stuff here, you can get it from your what is it called again? Let me see. Dispatches. So you can get it from dispatches, stuff like that solar seal. What I wanted to show is specifically where the best place to use it. And I would say if you have Xeon, or if you have FC Xeon, make sure you're getting the memory of Xeon here, because you get 50 of them, you make a Xeon, and then you can transcend your FC Xeon. So that's the only way to do it, because you can't really pull him as a thing. He's either incredibly rare as a rare, or you just can't pull him, period. So that's why people say this is the best place to use it. You can also save up 300 and then try to get lucky on a roll for a faded character in the door of creation. I just don't think that's worth it. But by all means, go for it if you are feeling lucky. So that's pretty much it. So the big thing is I said all that to break down exactly how the weekly structure is now. So now that we know what each one of these are, there's a daily reset on which types of challenges you can expect. So, for example, Mondays are fire. So then every single challenge is going to be fire based, and then this is really important. So, for example, you go to this. So today's Monday, so it's a fire day, and then the challenges are going to limit you as you go up in difficulty. It's going to limit you more and more. Notice how, see right here, it says 4 out of 2 fire characters, 4 out of 3. You need 3 fire characters now. When you get to Maniac, you need 4 fire characters. When you get to Special, not only do you need 5 fire characters, but then you need 2 Rare Ranger fire males. And the easiest way to know if you can do it or not is just hit Suggest. And Suggest is going to tell me, okay, so this guy here, Gene, is a Rare Ranger fire male. And then you go here to Hecken. Hecken is also a Rare Ranger fire male. So then you just need 3 fire characters. So then it's just going to go in order of your highest power. So FC Xeon, then Rachel, and then Brooke here. So that's how it makes that team. For example, see now I don't need the 2 rares. So then I hit Suggest again. Then now it's going to suggest stronger characters, might not even be fire characters because I only need 4. It's just going to go in order of my power, and then it's going to go in the order of the power of the fire characters for the requirement. So the Suggest thing here is actually very useful. And then if you're confused about this easy thing, you could check that. And what that allows you to do is to do quick battles. After you've beaten it one time, then you can do a quick battle if you pass this easy threshold. So, um, but why these specials are so important is because once you do this, so these are really weird requirements, very specific requirements, makes it very hard. But what you can get is, notice how all these have just experience scrolls. All of them are experience scrolls or experience books, all the way up until you get to the special. It adds this thing here. It adds this Star of Fate. What a Star of Fate does is you get every time you get 5 of them, you can go to the Door of Creation and roll, and then maybe get a chance of getting a fated piece of armor, not a weapon, armor. Or you can save up 200 of them and get a guaranteed fated piece of gear every month. So this is something, I don't know the math on this just yet. So far, I've been actually getting very lucky when it comes to rolling these. I think I've pulled about 3 fated pieces of gear just from rolling them, plus the guarantee, because if you're rolling them after 80 attempts, you get a guaranteed fated piece of gear. So you have that pity timer, which equates to double the amount of attempts it would be if you just did the guaranteed. So far, I think with a new account, I think rolling these is the better choice, because you're going to actually want the legendary piece of gear. You're actually going to want maybe even the rare pieces of gear. And then eventually, when you get to the point where you have a ton of legendaries, all you care about is the fated, then I would save them, roll your monthly fated, and then for the rest of the month, do a whole bunch of actual rolls and hope you get more fadeds. So that's how I'm looking at it now. When it comes to the weapon, so you have a lot more opportunities to get these pieces for the challenges, assuming you can do the challenges. When it comes to the weapon, you get a guaranteed 3 attempts a day. Depending on how far you go is going to determine how many attempts you get there. So for the weapon, I wish I just saved it, got the faded weapon, and then started to do the rolls after that. But that's how I'm looking at it now. Okay, so then notice how these are the requirements for this. And then that's going to change. So you go here, you go to the Spirit Sanctum. They're going to have different requirements. It's going to be fire, because Monday's fire, but you're going to have potentially different requirements. So here we go to suggest, and then now this one wants 5 fire, like I was saying, but it's going to want a rare paladin and a rare paladin fire male, and then also it's going to want a rare enhancer fire male. Okay, so then that's why there's different characters here. That's why I hit the suggest. The 3 characters are still the same 3 fire characters in Brooke, Rachel, and Xeon, because they're my strongest fire characters at the moment. Okay, so then now we can just get another example. Let's go to Blessing Sanctum. Blessing Sanctum, suggest. We hit this. Now, see, notice how it's recommending different ones. So it wants a rare wizard fire male, then it wants a rare warrior fire male. So in this case, Xeon fits that, because he's FC Xeon, which, Fate Core Xeon, which is a rare character, but the Fate Core version, luckily he's my strongest character, so I already got that well taken care of. And then the other one it's recommending or needing me to do is going to be a rare wizard fire male, which is Ooze here. Okay, and then the rest is just going to go down the list of whatever my strongest fire characters are. In this case, it goes Brooke, and then it goes Sabrina here. So that's how the challenges work. Notice how every single one of the challenge events just adds this fate or Star of Fate on there, and then you can roll. You get anywhere from 1 to 24 pull per attempt. I think sometimes I've seen 26. Somewhere on there. I don't know the specific amounts, but the variance is actually pretty wide. You can get really lucky. Sometimes from one. And then also a big thing I haven't mentioned is you can only do the special event 3 times per day. So you can't just, once you can do it, just wail out. Why they do that is because they want you to, if you could wail out, then what people would do is they would just get one team. They would have, let's say they would cover fire, then just never do machine, never do, nature, never do frost. And then they would just wail out on Monday, and then just not care about the rest. So that's why they separate it. And also all these games have some way of gating it, but that's why they're doing that. And then also it's kind of nice because even if someone wails out, they're not going to just blow ahead of all the free-to-play players. There's still going to be a trickle effect to where you at least could maybe be competitive, because even if people spend a crap ton of money, they're still having to wait too for all the faded gear. Lastly, just to close this out, so why I wanted to explain and go over in detail on the days is because this is just Monday. This is what is going to be expected every Monday. And then Tuesday, for example, is going to be frost. Wednesday is nature. Thursday is machine. And then Friday and Saturday are actually unique where they don't have a type. They don't have a type, but they are going to each one of those challenges they're going to have their own requirements. Like sometimes they need some legendary characters. Sometimes they need rares. As you saw here, a lot of the specific challenges were rare characters. Just keep that in mind. Like you need a deep roster in this game, a very, very deep roster. So that's why I want to break this down. I wanted to show exactly what to expect. This is what the daily grind is going to look like for us. This is what I've been doing for about a week now. Now that I kind of got my bearings about how this game works, now I can actually share it. And then lastly, Sunday is going to be solar and lunar. So then all the requirements are going to be specific on that one. That one for me currently is by far the hardest day. Solar and lunar characters, it's tough to find good ones. Especially a lot of these challenges require a lot of AoE, and then they're the only ones that require multiple types. So it definitely makes it a lot tougher to win those challenges on those days. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to just run through it one more time. We got Sunday is going to be solar and lunar. Monday is going to be fire. Tuesday is going to be frost. Wednesday is going to be nature. Thursday is going to be machine. And then Friday and Saturday is going to just be an open typing. It's not going to be anything specific. That's how that works. I think this is a good first start. I know I'm not covering everything. There's a ton more videos on the way for this game. I'm really enjoying it so far. So keep posted for that. And with that, you guys have a good one. Peace.